Welcome to the Wrestling Analyst podcast, Beyond the Bell, where the real story begins after the final bell. I'm your host, Night Stalker Luc Baudier, and together we'll break down the week's biggest moments, analyze storylines, and bring you opinions that hit harder than the steel chair. We will also explore how I would be booking a storyline if I were head of creative. Because here, every match tells a story, and we're here to break it down. So hit subscribe, leave a like, and click that notification bell, and let's go beyond the bell. So in the booking room, the title this week, The Corporate Coup of Chelsea Green. Now, Chelsea Green shocked the WWE Universe on November 7th, defeating Julia and ending her 133-day reign as Women's United States Champion. Now, the question on everyone's mind, what's next for Chelsea Green? And by ricochet, Julia. If I were sitting in the head creative chair, here's how I'd book this title reign to make it unforgettable. November 21st, which was yesterday in essence, Chelsea Green gets her United States Championship celebration. So she gets her lavish championship celebration, flaunting her new status as the face of the division. But the party doesn't last long. Julia and Kiana James crash the festivities, and Julia demands her rematch. Now, of course, Chelsea's going to say no, but Nick Aldis will make it official for the SmackDown episode right before Survivor Series next week on November 28th. So November 28th, the rematch. Julia and Chelsea deliver a competitive match to elevate Chelsea's credibility as champion. Outside the ring, Kiana James neutralizes Alba Fire, and therefore distracting the referee. And that's when Slagent K enters the ring, hits Julia with her own finisher, and then Chelsea capitalizes with the Unpretty Her for the win. Now, who would Slagent K be? Carmen Petrovich. The NXT and Evolve woman that's been rumored to enter the main roster as a Secret Harvest edition. Julia's road back to contention. So Kiana James goes to see Nick Aldis and petitions for another title shot, claiming her client was robbed. Aldis responds with a fatal four-way, Julia versus Michin versus Zelina Vega versus a returning Tiffany Stratton. Julia wins by pinning Zelina after a devastating Northern Lights bomb, hurting her spot at Saturday night's main event on December 13th for a U.S. title shot. So on December 13th, Julia versus Chelsea Green for the U.S. title. The match is intense, and don't forget, it's heel versus heel again. But Chelsea draws babyface cheers. So near the end of the match, the Secret Harvest tries to interfere, but it gets countered by Julia and Kiana James, while Chelsea is outside the ring on the floor, recuperating. As the referee counts Chelsea out, Kiana James strikes, hitting Julia with her own 401k finisher. Chelsea slides back in, nails the Unpretty Her, and retains the title. Julia is now officially a babyface. The fallout. On the following SmackDown episode, Chelsea Green celebrates with her Secret Service and unveils her new addition, Kiana James, and presents her as the new press secretary of the Green regime. Julia interrupts, demanding revenge. Aldis books Julia versus Kiana James, and Julia wins decisively with the Northern Lights bomb. Julia's road to redemption. So this feud would stretch out all the way to WrestleMania. Why? To give Julia some babyface heat, to make her overcome a lot of adversity, and have her then being elevated to an even more a better status in the ring. So at the Royal Rumble, Julia would eliminate both members of the Secret Service, Slagent A. Alba Fire and Slagent K. Carmen Petrovich, and Kiana James as well, only to be eliminated by Chelsea herself. Then Julia would regain the number one contender status before Elimination Chamber. Now, she wouldn't get the match at the Chamber, but that would set up the match for WrestleMania. She could then defeat Alba Fire, Carmen Petrovich in singles matches, battles in chaotic tag title bouts against Chelsea, Kiana, and the Hervis with allies like Michin and Tiffany Stratton, and maybe some new NXT call-ups like Zarya and Sol Ruca. Why not a 6-woman tag at one point with Zarya, Sol Ruca against Kiana James and the Secret Hervis, or even Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis? Why not? And finally, at WrestleMania, Julia challenges Chelsea Green for the Women's United States Championship and finally wins it back in a career-defining moment. Now, where does each of them go from here? From here on? Julia could embark on a long and meaningful United States Championship reign. After Julia regains the title and becomes a cornerstone of the division to make her reign feel important, she should defend against a variety of wrestlers. She should face heels, babyface, Michin, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax even, Zarya, Sol Ruca, Kiana James, Alba Fire, Carmen Petrovich. She could defend against everyone in the division to have a very good, almost make a U.S. Championship open challenge, almost. We could it's already on with the men, but not a U.S. Women's Championship Open Challenge, but having her defend the title more often than during her first reign. That's essentially what I'm saying. That would elevate the title and feature Julia in high-profile matches on TV and PLEs, giving her strong wins, but also competitive bouts to showcase her resilience. And add some storyline depth, position Julia as the fighting champion who overcame betrayal and faction warfare, making her redemption arc complete. Now, Chelsea Green, on the other hand, doesn't fade away at all. She pivots to something even bigger. How? Have her win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, Chelsea's character is tailor-made for Money in the Bank. Her opportunistic, manipulative persona fits the briefcase gimmick perfectly. T's constant cash and threats. She could troll champions weekly, cutting promos, even on social media, and cut promos about strategic timing and corporate takeovers. And faction leverage. The Green regime could help her keep opponents guessing, creating chaos whenever Chelsea teases a cash in. So tell me what you think about this booking room segment in the comments. Hope I'm going to hear from you. And tell me what you think about this booking room fantasy booking. On to the preview and interactions. That's it for this week, and thank you for listening to the Wrestling Analyst podcast, Beyond the Bell. If you loved what you heard, smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the action. Got opinions? Share them in the comments. I want to hear your take. So until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and keep going beyond the bell.